I'm glad that he died.
You think he should have been murdered because he disagrees with you, basically?
I don't think he should have been murdered, but I feel like...
You said I'm happy he died.
I'm not mad that he was.
Yeah, well, speaking about Charlie Kirk, I mean, he was brutally murdered because he was speaking his mind. Do you think that that was justified?
Yeah. Yes.
Savannah and I are here today at Pratt Institute, one of the most, hopefully, pro-freedom of speech and pro-freedom of expression places in the country. This is an Ivy League art school in Brooklyn, New York, and we are going to see what these students, if they're being indoctrinated or not, we're going to see what they have to think about the whole Charlie Kirk situation and political violence and the culture war.
Yeah, let's go.
What do you think about people that are celebrating the death of someone that was just speaking his mind, Charlie Kirk?
I'm glad that he died because he don't give a fuck about me.
It's getting to a point now where it's like debates can't even happen. Say people who are like right wing or like anything like that, they will find any way to like not get there. Like they won't meet anybody else in the conversation. It has to be like the way that they think. So
once you realize that 99% of this hate that is spewed by these types of people is based on fear, you'll understand their reactions and the psychology behind it all, and you'll understand why I have some sympathy or empathy towards these types still.
So many queer people, people of color have been killed, and it's not on the news. There's a lot of factors that if you check all these boxes, you being murdered as a person is not gonna even get in the newspaper. You're less than, is essentially, and that's not,
if you're queer or black
or a woman and I'm not saying that, I don't believe that, but it's like there's so many people that are murdered, and if they're like sex workers or drug dealers or something, they're seen as less than.
Like, still, it's not good that he was killed, but I feel like he's still indirectly supporting Trump, and Trump doesn't like every type of person. He's trying to bring back slavery. He's trying to
okay, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but like, where did you hear that?
I mean, it's kind of obvious, right?
No.
He doesn't like black people. They're trying to make laws for segregation again.
He doesn't like black people, but he invited me to the White House back in May. I went to the White House. Why would he invite me to the White House? Do you think it's like mostly right-wing people have that problem?
I mean, like, you know, everything is subjective. Like, there's always exceptions to everything, but I've seen more examples of people who are in support of people like Trump or Charlie Kirk or anything like that that are just so rigid in the way that they think that like they will think that any other mindset is like a joke to them.
He was brutally murdered because he was speaking his mind. Do you think that that was justified?
Yeah.
Yes.
We should be able to kill people if we don't agree with them.
Whatever.
Keep in mind that the majority of these types of students are told by the media, by their peers, by their teachers, that Gaza is safer for gays than Trump.
What did Charlie say that says he doesn't like people like you?
Honestly, I don't know, but that's just what I've heard.
You know, it's like, fuck around and find out.
Blinded by rage. A lot of people are really angry and scared. Fear creates anger, you know? It's displacement, you don't know where to put it.
How could you say that about Charlie?
Because it's the internet and I don't know him and people make memes and it's funny.
I mean, if we're gonna go on that logic, right, that if you fuck around, find out, what if you say something one day and somebody doesn't agree with what you have to say and they think it's okay to kill you for it? I mean, you're an art school student. This is literally what you're studying, right? Freedom of expression.
Yeah.
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 So what makes your right to speak different than somebody else's?
It's not different. Everything has consequences.
How would you know where the line is drawn is what I'm saying.
But like, I feel bad for people that were affected by it, but
This is the thing, is that you may not feel empathy because you didn't know him, you didn't agree with him, but everybody should feel offended because if they can kill him, they can kill me, they can kill you, they can kill her, they can kill him, they can kill everybody.
The direction the country is headed right now ain't good.
I agree with that. Probably a lot of people agree with that no matter their political standing of just...
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised that these types of people can get sleep, if any at all. But we know here on this channel, we don't have any problem in that department thanks to sponsors like Beam's Dream. Dream has all natural sleep ingredients, which on their own can be powerful, but put together is another level. Just one scoop into a mug of milk or hot water and sip 30 minutes before bedtime. 89% of people that have used Dream agree that it reduces restlessness. 82% of people agree that Dream improves mental state at night. 79% of people say that it allows for a deeper sleep. I wake up every night to pee at exactly 4 in the morning. You can ask my friends if this is true. Dream helps me fall back asleep much quicker than I have in the past. Before I would toss and turn and I'd have a lot of trouble falling back asleep. This makes it 100 times easier. I wake up feeling so much better. Even people like myself who take take their mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health seriously can have problems sleeping. And many of us work hard. We have kids. It gets tiring. Use Dream as your Sunday night reset to make sure that your week ahead is going to go as perfectly as it can go. It's personally been a game changer for me, and I know it can be for you as well. Use code Ariel for 35% off your first month and 20% off each month after that. You get a free frother, free shipping, and the option to pause or cancel at any time. Make sure you go and support brands and companies that support our morals and this channel. Back to the video.
Do you think that it was wrong that he was assassinated?
That's up to interpretation, to be honest. Half of people will say he didn't deserve it. Other people will say he died by his words.
What do you say?
I mean, I feel like he died by his words, but death is death. Death is bad regardless.
Do you believe in freedom of speech in this country?
Yeah.
You should, right? You're from China, so you know you know the difference, right? It's a big difference between here and China, right? Do you think somebody should be silenced for their political opinions?
I think in American, people can talk very free. I'm afraid. I don't know.
We're living in a country now that you could get killed if you say what you believe in. That's
You shouldn't be afraid. That's
Yeah.
the point we're trying to make, right?
yeah. Do you think America is a place where we should have to fear that?
And I think in America it's fine, but in China it's definitely we cannot say anything about the government or the.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know there's there's a lot of international students here,
Right.
but a lot of international students here who are now feeling like they can't get involved with anything or actually like express how they feel or like stand up for it at all because or like engage with anything online out of fear of like
Their visa getting
Yeah,
revoked
yeah.
or like something like that.
some sort of repercussion.
We had a girl we just interviewed not too long ago. She's from China and she's coming here to do design. You know about China, they're pretty communist. You can't really say anything about the government, can't put your opinions out. But America's not supposed to be like that. And she said that one of the reasons that she came here was because she feels more safe. And now we just witnessed a public assassination of a man because he was doing just that, speaking his mind.
And that's why you're here, right? You're here because you want to express yourself freely, right?
I don't know. I think America's like they're downgrading so much. In fact, they're becoming like China in a way.
It's kind of scary.
I grew up in a country where you couldn't speak your mind.
Okay, where are you from?
Under Hitler in Germany, and we just spoke quietly at home about things we didn't like.
Does it scare you that America is going down that path, it seems?
Yes. Everything has changed.
I feel like the people who had that kind of mentality that Hitler did, of like, no, I don't believe what you're saying, so I'm just going to take over, I think that's flooding into America a little bit. And it's by people who have never experienced being under somebody like Hitler. Isn't that interesting?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe we're so privileged in this country that we are trying to find something to make us feel victimized, which is weird.
Creating our own problems.
Yeah, we're creating our own problems because we just don't have any, so we just need to come up with an excuse on why we're victims.
Yeah.
I mean, do you agree with the statement that you think freedom of expression is important for all people?
Yeah.
Freedom of,
As long
freedom
as
of
you're not
speech?
hurting someone,
Right.
then
So you think words are not violence?
well, they can be, yes,
Okay, how?
because they can incite violence.
Where do you think the line is drawn between hate speech, free speech, and incitement of violence? Because
I mean-
hate speech is basically based on opinion. Because a lot of people agreed with what Charlie was saying. I'm a lesbian. I don't agree with things that he said. I don't think anyone would ever be killed for that.
It also depends on like the kind of rhetoric. It's like you know you get what you put out into the world. He was proposing like gun law rhetoric, you know, freedom to carry, and he was killed by like the same people that like he usually like advertises to. So it's like, you know,
Well, I mean,
I
if
don't.
the shooter was gay and was, dating a person who was transitioning. Charlie doesn't usually affiliate himself with
Yeah, but they were-
leftists. If somebody wanted to kill AOC, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, like you would be full in support of that because if they didn't agree with them.
It's not about I'm in support because I agree with them. I just feel like, you know, it's a thing that happens.
How far does that go? Because I mean, some people might say, well, I think it's okay to rape somebody. Like, should we not criminalize rape then? Just
I mean,
let people rape?
Like, no, obviously not.
But what she's saying is that laws have definitions, right? And if we're saying that violence can be defined as somebody being offended by words, that could be translated to almost anything.
Is there a line or is it person to person? And therefore, like, if it's person to person, then we shouldn't have any laws. We should just let people do what they want to do.
I can't really say as far as when the line or where the line or how it should be drawn. I just know that, you know, sometimes people just have enough.
How do we define what hate speech is then? How do we define what is considered like, oh, well, that's justified justifiable because he said that versus it's not justifiable because he only said this?
I think it depends on the scenario. I don't.
You see how it can get very tricky though? Because I could sit here and say I don't like they thems.
Yeah.
Because I don't. I actually, not that I don't like you. That could be considered hate speech or incitement of violence. Potential.
I wouldn't say so.
But somebody else would.
Well, you can
And
just
that's an
say that
issue.
you don't like someone, and that's not hate speech.
Right.
See, that's where so much of the left disagrees. That if say,
lot of them disagree.
well, you're a Christian, like that's what they said about Charlie. Charlie is a Christian. He doesn't support the LGBT community. Yeah, he didn't. But does that mean he hated gay people? Does that mean that he thought they shouldn't exist? Does that mean he thinks that they should be put in these fake camps that people keep making up? No, you can. You cannot support somebody's actions or their lifestyle, but also respect them as a human being.
On a platform saying these people are bad and spreading that to not just like, oh, I don't like this one person, where it's like you don't like them because part of them, like a huge part of them you disagree with.
Maybe we should be more clear and say that, like, this isn't all people. But I think we know that. Like, I think we know not all white people are racist. Not all black people are thugs. Not all Asian people are like have the highest IQ. I mean, these.
We knew this 20 years ago when I went to this damn school. I don't know what the hell
sense.
happened. I really don't. But what I'm saying is I think it's important to recognize where this is all coming from so we could put an end to it. I went to this school 20 years ago, right? Almost 20 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it is. We were all about pro-freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Like, there were people of every different race, nationality, religions that went here. And now whenever I go onto any college campus, most of them, I would say, across the country, like, I literally fear. And there was a girl we just talked to 2 minutes ago that said, I'm afraid to say what I think.
Yeah, that's what.
And an art school, at an art school in the middle, in America, in New York City, in the bluest place, people are afraid of their own opinions. That is a big problem. Regardless of what you believe or not, people should have the opportunity to speak about it, because that's how we also derail bad ideas, right?
Do you feel like you have the freedom to speak your mind in America right now?
Personally, no.
For people that disagree with you, like, you probably don't feel super comfortable saying what you feel.
What do you think about that fact? That just saying that you're in a blue city, in a blue state, at a college campus in New York City, and you don't feel like it's okay to speak your mind.
I mean, I feel like it's...
You're at an art school.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're afraid to say what you really think.
Yeah.
Isn't that a problem? I mean,
it is a big problem.
It's a big problem.
Yeah.
When I went here 20 years ago, everyone spoke their mind. No one said, people would do crazy shit. It's art school, right? There was somebody that staged a suicide death here. In the bathroom. Do you remember? Okay, that was when I was here. They did a fake hanging sculpture in the bathroom. Imagine people doing that now.
No, I agree with you 100%.
So you did hear about that in the bathroom? Wow, that was when I went to school.
Legendary.
We were legends. We were iconic back in the day. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's sad that we're at hopefully one of the most pre-freedom of expression places in the country. And we're still finding people that have an issue with freedom of expression, freedom of speech. We don't want people on our side or our side to do what the people on the other side are doing right now. That's why we're taking a stand and saying, like, it's not okay when anybody does it.
Hey, I can't really say too much of like if he deserved to die or it should have happened. It did happen, and that's a thing that happens. And
I don't think it was wrong.
No.
We want to know where the current state of America with the college students is standing.
I mean,
and I think
political assassinations are a thing, you know.
I don't agree with killing people,
That's nice.
like an assassination. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
That's not gonna help anything.
Charlie Kirk was assassinated for speaking his mind.
Yeah.
What do you think about that situation?
I think it was wrong because at the end of the day, he was just speaking his mind. You know, he shouldn't have been assassinated for that.
I can tell you, I actually knew the guy. I saw him only a month before he was murdered. I'm obviously not white. I'm not a man. And there's all these people saying, you know, he was racist, he hated women. All he ever did was encourage me to follow my dreams, to be loyal and, you know, worship God and get married, have babies. That was his message. And somebody thought that it was okay to just murder him because of words.
And it's crazy because at the end of the day, everyone speaks their mind on the internet. So it's like, why him?
Right.
Like, what makes him different from everyone else?
Yeah.
because he's making an impact. And people are afraid of that. And that worries me for people like you guys, who are your media major, I'm assuming, marketing, architecture? Okay. Yeah. So you're somebody that's literally building the future.
Yeah.
Literally building the future, okay? And you're afraid of it.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Did you hear about Charlie Kirk's assassination?
I don't think, like, celebrating someone's, like, death is, like, should ever be done.
The question is, do you feel that you can safely speak your mind in America right now?
No. I mean, I'm going to anyways, but it's not looking safe.
Do you think that's normal for a country like America, that we should be afraid to use the #1 amendment?
No, it's not. It's quite a bummer. Quite disappointed in the country, giving all of those up, getting rid of all those books in the libraries, the ISIS coming after anybody that, you know. Yeah, no. No, I guess not.
We live in a country right now where you can be publicly assassinated for just sitting in a chair and speaking. Charlie Kirk was assassinated 2 weeks ago tomorrow, and all he was doing was sitting in a chair and speaking his mind, trying to actually have conversation. Do you condemn that he was murdered that way?
Yeah, he was just sitting and talking, right? I mean, listen, I don't particularly agree with the guy, but
that's okay. You don't have to. I don't have to agree with all of these people who go and march in the streets about free Palestine, but am I going to say that they shouldn't be able to do that? No.
No, I mean, I think the biggest problem in our country right now is that we're just not talking to each other.
I think free speech is super important, but I do feel like when it gets into the area of hate speech, that's different. And I do feel like, not that Charlie Kirk should have been killed for what he said, regardless of it being hate speech or freedom of speech or whatever, but I do feel like freedom of speech like does have a degree to it still. Like when it's like spreading false information.
Well, that's what Jimmy Kimmel did, right? He said that the shooter was a MAGA Republican, and he's not.
And like saying things as if they're like scientific facts that are simply untrue, and like spreading further like stereotypes and false information about different minority groups, and like that's just not okay.
I think if that's the case, it should be happening on all sides of the political spectrum and the culture war. I think Democrats and progressives lie a lot about a lot of shit too, right? They lie about me. They say I'm transphobic and racist and all this shit. They say she's a coon.
Everybody's social media is catered to like what you believe in, and so it's kind of hard to create conversation, and then the divide gets like fatter and fatter. It's like impossible to see the other side, and that creates like this really, really, really unreasonable rage, which is a bummer, and it leads to violence like that.
But what I do care about is that we all treat each other with respect, that we see each other for our humanity, and I think we're really being divided, and I think that the media uses things like this, even if it's wrong, to further divide us. And the fact that I don't have enough information literally proves that.
You started this interview saying, I'm happy that he died. Can you look me in the face and say that you'd be happy if I died? Because I agreed with about 99% of what Charlie agreed with. Can you look me in the face and say that?
I wouldn't be.
So how could you say that about Charlie?
Because it's the internet and I don't know him, and people make memes and it's funny.
And that's the reason why people like Charlie and people like Savannah and I are doing these types of videos, and we get a lot of shit for it, we get a lot of hate, but because we are literally, in a way, I guess, forcing people to rehumanize us.
And like are having a hard time humanizing whatever side they're not on.
Right? To rehumanize people like you. Because 5 minutes ago, you were all rah, 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 fuck Charlie, and now you're like, wait a second, like that's actually not a good idea, right? And it took all of 5 minutes to get there, which is insane.
I guess so.
And it would be just as wrong if somebody wanted to shoot you if you were gay, pro-trans. Are you gay?
Yes.
Okay, it's just as wrong for somebody to murder you because they don't like gay people as it is, exactly.
I could agree with that. Where's my money?
Hashtag save a gay. Hashtag save a gay.
Oh, we had a lot of amazing conversations today. I was surprised, honestly.
With a few of them.
Yeah, with a few of them, that not everybody on the left is just like, yeah, he should have died. Then we also saw that a lot of that is true, and that is really scary, and I want you to know that this isn't just in New York City. This is your neighbor. This is somebody that you go to church with, probably has that same mindset.
I also think it makes a lot of sense that we have to hire a security guard like Mario, who's amazing, by the way. Follow him on his Instagram down below. We have to hire him when we go to these, usual left-wing campuses and stuff like that. But like, if I were to go to like the RNC, like, I feel like I wouldn't need to hire somebody. The people on the left usually say the opposite. If you want to go check out her channel, it's going to be a link in the description below. Subscribe to both of us because we both make amazing content. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up because it helps us continue to do what we think the right thing is, which I think you agree with. So show us. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.